This is going to be the first video that I'm going to be doing in all likelihood a series. I'm planning at this point on doing a free Assange event in Jefferson City, Missouri, which is the state capital of Missouri. It's near enough to me in terms of geographically so that even if my car flunks out on me, I could still get there via a taxi cab. And so in essence it's about narrowing down the public parks locations, if it's going to be held there, and if the governor, in terms of calling state of emergency, which he's already done, but not put any bans on how many people can gather, how many location or locations should this be held in at the same time. And yes, the thing about this in terms of if I try and do multiple locations, looking things up of outdoor venues, is that I'm going to be needing some help in terms of putting in the security deposit on the space, because while it is refundable, assuming the place is not damaged, it's going to be a matter of I'm going to need to put this on my debit card, and frankly, more than one in May, we're really going to be a trouble, but I think I might be able to do up to 2. After that, though, I'm definitely going to need help, and probably even after at number 2, second site, I'm going to need some help. Some of them, they have rental fees. The smallest ones, the 2 smallest ones, don't really have rental fees. It's just going to be the direct deposit, but those combined, they only hold 60 people, the 2 locations. Then there's 2 other locations that have flat fees of $25, which each hold 64 people. They're kind of where I lean towards at this point, but I would really like some more input. Jefferson City, Columbia, I think it's actually considered more dead center of the state, but Jefferson City is pretty close. All of these places are that I'm really seriously considering are outdoor spaces, so that in part people could see signage as well, because frankly there's just plain more of them to choose from, and as well in terms of me having to deal with reserving costs, it's $100 versus $200 per spot. As well as just the simple fact that most of these facilities have at least, if not more, spaces in terms of available people than the indoor spaces do. So I think it would fit things better. The biggest place, which would be about $22 an hour, is 450 people. I don't know that I want to try to reserve that one, in part because, considering other states in terms of their maximum crowd sizes that have already been imposed in one space, odds are it'll be closed off and it'll be banned from using it. And therefore, I'd rather toss that one out, even if it's a matter of ending up using 2 spaces that end up hosting and enabling more people and walking between the 2 of them. I will, again, unless they're completely somehow, banned in terms of, again, which is quite possible given state of emergency haven't been declared. If that happens, then at a minimum, I'm prepared to at least have my home serve as a meetup point to have people start to actually do a march, and or a caravan combination to the state capitol, which again is not that far from me. And as long as my car is running, I'll help with that without question. I'll definitely lead that, and I'll help with routing and stuff like that. But to me, other people have mentioned this, and I wholeheartedly agree. With Manning and the other whistleblower having just been released in terms of the grand jury against Assange, even as it's somewhat of a temporary celebration of their freedom, for Manning it also means raising money because the fees have not been waived. The judgment against her still stands in terms of money. But if anything, it's a time to actually increase the public pressure and to get louder, because this needs to be fought. We need to indeed form more mutual aid networks, and we need to keep on fighting this oppression globally and indeed locally. This needs to be pushed back by the masses, and that means everyone doing all that they can. And by the way, I'm not saying that everyone can do a quote-unquote equal share, but I am saying that even if it's just a matter of you sharing something online repeatedly, you're definitely helping. Even if it's you're helping to give, in terms of at the event, that you're helping to pass out cups of water, clean water, you're definitely helping. You're pointing the direction in terms of which way people are walking. Again, these are critical points. Everyone indeed can take a role. I'm going to be doing a sizable amount of logistical planning in terms of routes that I could see with mapping. Within the next month or so, I'm going to, even if it comes down to me actually physically drawing out with ruler and or stencils, I'm going to indeed be planning out these routes in detail, depending upon every scenario that I could at least think of. Because again, this needs to be fought against, and we need to keep moving and pushing. As Shabbat nears coming here, I say, keep fighting, even if it's just to help your loved one get through the day, or yourself to keep hope alive. Keep fighting. Shalom.